On this video, I am going to show you something that's even easier than fasting and will give you amazing results, and it's free like fasting. So as much as I love fasting, I've got to tell you about this one health habit because it may be easier than fasting. So let's dive in. I'm really excited to share this one with you. Hopefully, if you stumbled upon this video, you know that I am a fasting expert and a huge fan of fasting. And the reason is because it's free. And we live in a time right now where we need free tools for humans. And one of the things that's happening when you fast is it's not a diet. You're actually putting yourself into a state of repair. And your body is actually repairing itself. So with that in mind, when I teach you this metabolic switch, where I'm like, let's eat and create a really good sugar burner system, and let's switch over and let's fast and create a really good fat burning system, that what I'm teaching you is how to repair your own body. So if we look at this through the lens that fasting is healing and repairing, we have one other health habit that we do that repairs your body constantly. You know what it is? It's sleep. Sleep is your repair phase. So we don't give sleep enough credit for healing the human body. In fact, I think a lot of people skimp on sleep because either they can't sleep or they're too busy. They have too many things to do. So, but what we have to do is start to bring back. We have to rebrand sleep. And the thing when you rebrand sleep is I want you to look at it through the lens of repair. That is how your body repairs itself. So what is happening when you sleep? Well, the minute you go into sleep, different organs start to repair. I've talked about this before, like your liver and your adrenals repair around 2 and 3 in the morning, which is why a lot of us wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning because maybe there's a dump of glucose from the liver or there's a spike of cortisol because the adrenals are a little bit wound up as they are dysregulated. So when we sleep, each organ system, hour by hour by hour, starts to repair itself and rejuvenate itself. And it starts to make itself anew. And basically your brilliant body, what it does hour by hour of sleep is that it says, okay, hey, there's some damage here in the liver. Oh, wait, maybe the brain needs to detox a little bit more. Maybe there's a muscle here that needs a little more repair. It is how it repairs. It needs you to shut off your brain so that it can go repair itself. So if you're not repairing, you're not healing, that is going to be a problem over time. That's a quick path to aging. Okay, so that's the first thing, your organs repair. Second thing, glycogen stores. So we have glucose and we have glycogen. Glucose is what we eat. When we eat, glucose goes up. If we have too much glucose, it gets stored in a form called glycogen. And glycogen is stored glucose. At night, your body is constantly regulating the glucose system. And if there is a dip in glucose, it will release glycogen. Usually it releases it from the liver or it will release it from fat. So I've talked about this on other videos. You're burning fat when you sleep. So don't miss out on that. If you're struggling to lose weight, go start sleeping more and see if you lose more weight. So really, we need to look at these glycogen stores as your body's got it. Just shut your eyes, shut your mind, and your body will release the stored glucose and it'll burn fat. These are things you're trying to accomplish during the day. You can better accomplish it at night. Okay, third thing is that your brain detoxes. So your brain actually shrinks, and you have something called a cerebral spinal fluid pump, where the cerebral spinal fluid goes all the way up your spine, it washes your brain, and then out comes all the toxins come out. So it's how brilliant you are. All of you that are spending money on really fancy detoxes, let's start by sleeping first. Once you've slept and dialed in a couple other things, maybe those fancy detoxes would work then. But your brain is shrinking at night and it's cleansing itself. So make sure you're getting enough sleep. Okay, and then the last thing that your brain is doing when it's sleeping is that you're actually repairing your nervous system. So think about this. All day long, you're in stress. You're in sympathetic nervous system. You're in fight or flight. And if you stay in fight or flight too long, you might move into the freeze mode. It's called the polyvagal theory, and you might get into this freeze state. So you're constantly in a state of go. The only way, especially some of us that have really loopy thoughts, the only way that we can calm those thoughts is to go to sleep. So when you're sleeping, your parasympathetic nervous system is healing. And we can measure this with a measurement called HRV, heart rate variability. Those of you that have a biometric wearable, heart rate variability is really important because it tells you if you're able to switch from parasympathetic to sympathetic, if you can do that efficiently. So let's make sure when you're sleeping that you are allowing a rest from the cortisol-saturated, sympathetic dominant, fight or flight nervous system that you may be operating from. If you can't solve a problem, if you can't lose weight, if you can't, you've got brain fog, if you can't seem to handle your stress, sleep more so that you can repair that parasympathetic nervous system. So that's what's happening when you're sleeping. Now, how does this all help you lose weight? Well, again, if you are in a state of fight or flight, the body won't drop weight because it doesn't feel safe to do it, especially the female body. This also goes, by the way, for women that are struggling to get pregnant. Like if you're under a state of constant stress, your system is not going to understand. It's not going to want to conceive a baby because it's like, what's so stressful here? It's not safe enough to reproduce. So we really need to start to deal with stress a lot better. So when we go to sleep, stress comes down, parasympathetic nervous system rebuilds itself, and the body feels safe. Okay, that's a great environment. Now the body's feeling safe, and the liver's like, okay, blood sugar's coming down. I need to release some glycogen. Where did I store some glycogen? Oh, I stored it in fat. Let me burn some fat so that I can start to release glycogen into the system to make sure I'm giving enough blood sugar to the brain. Okay, now two things are going on. Now the third thing is that the brain is detoxing and your brain shrinks, and so all of a sudden all those heavy metals, the glyphosate, the pesticides, the toxins you've accumulated during the day, your body can actually get rid of it. And one of the places that gets the most amount of toxins is the hypothalamus and pituitary, and that's the part of the brain that controls hormones. So we're asleep, you're not even doing anything, and all of a sudden the parasympathetic nervous system's like, okay, thank you. The body relaxes, it feels safe, the liver burns fat, and then your brain detoxes, and you wake up a healthier you. Okay, I gotta interrupt this video because I have a free guide for you so you can master fasting. It's called A Beginner's Guide to a Fasting Lifestyle, and all you've got to do is click here and you can jump right in. So we've got to bring back sleep. So I have a challenge for you, and here's the challenge. I want you to try for the next month to commit to 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Send this video out, do it with a person, get an accountability partner, and you just say, hey, 7 to 9 hours every night we're gonna sleep. Get a wearable, get an Oura Ring or a Whoop, get a wearable so you can measure where your HRV is at and see if your HRV goes up. So try that for a month. Second part of the challenge is make sure if you drink alcohol, there's like a 3-hour window between your last alcohol drink and when you go to sleep, because one of the key parts of getting good sleep is deep sleep. And deep sleep is where your brain detoxes, and what we know about alcohol is it affects deep sleep. So let's make sure that you're not drinking alcohol right before bed. And then the last part is your pre-bed habits. So watch what goes into your brain. Don't hook onto the news. Don't engage in really negative conversations, because that is going to put your brain into this sympathetic state before it goes to bed. You go to bed, you might find it really difficult to go to bed. It can affect REM sleep, which is where you reorganize information. So let's prioritize sleep. Try it for a month. Let's have really good sleep hygiene. And then let's see what happens to your weight loss efforts. I'd be really curious. I really love this idea. It's so simple, because now we have two really cool health tools. We have fasting, we have sleep. They're both free. If you do them both together and you start to learn how to build a fasting lifestyle and you learn how to prioritize sleep, report back. Tell me how great your health is and you haven't spent a dime. It's simple. You just have to honor this miraculous body that you're in. I promise you. She will reward you with great health. So there you go, something better than fasting. But it's even better if you put it with a fasting lifestyle. So let me know in the comments if sleep has changed your life. I want to see it. So put it in the comments so we can all learn. As always, I hope that helps. On the next video, it's called Do This Before You Sleep to Avoid Belly Fat. And there's habits you want to do the night before, and there's habits you want to do in the morning, and all of those make a big difference. Make sure your room is cool. If our mattress is cool, if the room is cool, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This is a little bit like cold plunges.